Hey guys, how are you today? I hope you guys are good. I'm here to preview the semi-finals of both Belgrade and Barcelona Open. I hope you guys are having a good week. I hope you guys are enjoying the tennis if you're watching. So let's get into it then. First, I'll go to the Barcelona Open and I'll preview that. Then we'll move on to the Serbia Open in Belgrade. So, what we've seen is in the quarterfinals, I'll just review those for you. In Barcelona, Tsitsipas has continued his great run in from Monte Carlo. He's just been destroying everyone. So he beat Felix Aliassime. Sorry about that. Yeah, he beat Felix Aliassime 6-3, 6-3. So that was a good run. He's just continued basically what he's been doing. What he's been doing in Monte Carlo, and Tsitsipas has looked good. His quarterfinal over Felix Olje Aliassime, not really sure how you pronounce his name, but it was just a situation where he was playing the tennis that won in Monte Carlo. He's got confidence, I'm assuming, from winning his first Masters 1000, and he's just been unstoppable early in this tournament. And Felix Aliassime wasn't in the same class. The serve was too good. The ability to attack and shorten points. I mean, great level for Stefanos Tsitsipas, and he's obviously confident right now after winning in Monte Carlo. And yeah, he's on fire and he's playing his absolute best level. And the level that won in Monte Carlo, he produced in this quarterfinal. And Felix Auger Aliassime, even with Uncle Tony coaching, wasn't up to the task. So Sinner has beat Rublev, and then it was really a case where Rublev wasn't playing well during the tournament. Rublev was up and down. Rublev was making a whole bunch of errors, and what he did was similar to what Tsitsipas did in the previous tournament, right? In Monte Carlo final. He was just attacking, shortening the points, taking the time away. Rublev couldn't get his time to get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots and time to set up for the power because he was always short on time, scrambling to stay in the point. And Sinner was just overpowering. Sinner was hitting winners. And Rublev could never really get a rhythm, never really get in a rally, didn't have time to set up on his power. And then when he did, he was trying to end the point too quick himself because he was worried about what Sinner would do. And then he caused errors and just generally throughout the tournament didn't have rhythm anyway. But then it made matters worse when Sinner could overpower him and shorten points and hit a lot of winners. But when he tried to attack, he made errors and he never got in rallies, never had time to set up his power. So Sinner too good there. Pablo Carreno Robusta has beaten Schwartzman. That's a bit of an upset. It was a close match, went down to 3 sets. Very even, but I just think Pablo Carreno Robusta rallied better, just that little bit better. So he got the win there. And then Nadal against Cameron Norrie, the last quarterfinal. Nadal, he's been up and down the whole week. The Nishikori match, and here he was up and down. He was worse than he was in the Nishikori match, I feel. But Nishikori, Cameron Norrie played a horrible match. He had a whole lot of errors. Nadal was inconsistent up and down. Nadal was just that bit better. So he wins it in straight sets. But even the first set, I think it was about 6-1. Yeah. But the thing about that is a lot of the games were close. and Nadal was at least half of the time. He was really sort of not doing well in defense. On offense, he was just going for it a bit too much, and there were times when he got errors, but there were times where he showed great power, controlled the point, and looked at his absolute best on clay, hammering forehands, particularly down the line across the court. And there were other times that he was missing simple errors. But Norrie was bad most of the time, so it was good and no real serve to speak of. So, so really, Cameron Norrie was bad, and I would say Nadal was a bit inconsistent and maybe better, uh, playing well more than 50% of the time, whereas Norrie was hitting errors and playing poor tennis about 80% of the time. So now we're left with our semi-finals, which will feature Sinner against Tsitsipas. I mean, I think Tsitsipas is playing too well right now, and they both got this sort of game. Big serve, attack, shortening the point, have power to hit through the clay, um, and they've got a very similar style. But I just think Tsitsipas with the confidence of winning a Masters 1000, a semi-final at a 500 against Sinner will bring him no pressure whatsoever. Whereas for Sinner, it's a big breakthrough moment, especially after what Tsitsipas did last week. So I would say that Sinner may have the ability to win or to be even with Tsitsipas, or even beat him on a normal time. But Tsitsipas at his absolute best now, maybe not. But I think it's going to be a big moment for Sinner. He'll be nervous. He won't play well. Tsitsipas is going to just continue dominating and playing great tennis, right? So that's what I would say. Uh, so Tsitsipas is going to continue just to dominate and play the sort of tennis where he can't be touched. He dominated Monte Carlo. He's playing great right now, and I'm really going to give this to Tsitsipas because, and then I feel like with him at his absolute prime level, Sinner played at his prime level too in the last in the last round when he won against Rublev. So if they were both on that level, it'd be a close match. But I think Tsitsipas will produce it again. Sinner will be nervous. You saw him towards the end of the match, a bit of nervous feeling. He won't be able to afford that. So Tsitsipas will win this one. But it could be two close sets or three. I'll give Sinner a set, and I'll give it to Tsitsipas in 3 sets. And then finally, Nadal is going to be playing against Pablo Carrera Busta. I just think Nadal owns the other Spanish players. There'll be a lot of long rallies. It'll be sort of like your typical Nadal Ferrer one. There'll be long rallies. It'll be a battle. It'll be a fight, and it'll come down to this: Nadal has more power on his forehand than what Pablo Carrera Busta has on any shot. So both of them will have high shot tolerance, low errors, will be willing to battle and be involved in long rallies. Um, so what I'm just thinking is, what I'm just thinking is, there'll be long rallies, it'll be battles, there won't be a lot of errors, and they'll just be willing to battle at it all day and all long and all of that. But Nadal will be able to dictate the points more. His forehand, he'll stand in the middle and he'll have Pablo Carreno Busta winning. And every time the ball will land a bit shorter till he ends the point. But basically, it'll be long rallies with few errors and both guys willing to battle, but Nadal overpowering with the forehand, standing in the middle and just hammering forehands, and Pablo Carreno and Buster just running around retrieving all the time until he's going to run out of gas. But the consistency will be the same, the shot tolerance, but that extra power Nadal has the forehand on a slow clay court, time to set up for the forehand, and Pablo Carreno or Buster not enough power. So to take Nadal's time on clay, you've got to have quite a bit of power. But Pablo Carreno or Buster is just a consistent player, so he won't really get it through the clay court, won't be able to get through Nadal's defense, and Nadal will constantly have time to set up. set up on the forehand, right? Um, and he'll control the rallies with a forehand, and he'll just that'll just be the shot that'll win it. Two consistent rallies, equally good on defense, equally good on shot tolerance, but um, Pablo Carreño or Busta not getting the power to get through a slow clay court to take Nadal's time. So Nadal controlling the rallies with the forehand and overpowering the rallies and standing in the middle, hammering forehand, and Pablo Carreño or Busta constantly on the defense. Yeah. I'm just reading the chat right now. Um, he may have some kind of a problem, or it could just be he doesn't have the fitness yet to be playing. But what I'm trying to say is the kind of guys that could beat Nadal would be big power guys that could get through the court, get through his defense, take time to set up the forehand. Guys that are just going to be consistent and let him rally and can't really get through the court well. Nadal's going to have time to set up and hit forehands and then dominate the rally with a forehand. So that's what I'm seeing. But since Nadal's not his best, I'll give Pablo Carreno or Busta a set, and then we'll be left with Tsitsipas Nadal in the final. Moving over to the Belgrade. So what we had today is Djokovic beat Kamanovic. I mean, he played a decent match. Kamanovic, I'm not even sure how to say it, but yeah, he was awful. Djokovic was at about a 7 out of 10 level. Djokovic controlled most of the rallies. Kamanovic tried to go for too much and make errors. Um, the rest of them I didn't really be able to see, but I'm sure Berrettini overpowered the opponent. And I've said it'll be Berrettini and Djokovic in the final. Um, so Djokovic is going to play Karatsev. I mean, there's a small chance Karatsev could get a set, but the problem is we saw them play in the Australian Open, and it was just long rallies that Djokovic was getting the better of him. Djokovic says that he was injured at the time. Um, yeah, Djokovic says he was injured at the time. Now he's not injured. So if he could win that in straight sets, right, then he should be able to win now. Karatsev's best game would be get him on a fast serve, attack, hit a whole lot of winners, the big serve, and just blow him off the court. But on a slow clay court, he can't do that. He'll be forced to battle in long rallies with Djokovic. Djokovic will just be that bit better and more consistent. So Djokovic wins there, moves through to the final. For those of you who are less interested in Belgrade, I'm just talking about it for a short time because I think there's less interest. Daniels and Berrettini. I just think Berrettini would just overpower. I just think that Berrettini would just overpower him. I mean, he'll have a bigger serve, he'll attack, he'll shorten the point, and the opponent Daniel is a good rallier, but he just will be overpowered. Like he'll have to battle to hold serve every time because he doesn't have a serve. When he hits second serve, Berrettini's going to hammer it. All the rallies, Berrettini will be hammering it, shortening the point, and ending it, and you'll never have time to get in rallies. So on his serve, there'll be rallies, but Berrettini will be risking it, going for it. When he connects, he'll be shortening the point, he'll be ending it, and then he'll just be taking the time away. So it'll be a battle every time for Daniels to hold. But the games that Berrettini connects, he'll break. On Berrettini's serve, he'll have no chance because Berrettini will attack, take his time away in the points, hit winners. But he'll also have a lot of short balls set up by the serve, and you get a lot of free points on the serve. So there'll be few rallies. When they are, they'll just be 1-2 punches, short balls. Daniel will never get into the rallies on the serve. He won't get enough serves deep, and it'll either be easy points for Berrettini or 1-2 punches. And then, like I said, Daniel will fight every game to hold the serve. Berrettini will take risks when he connects. he'll break. So Berrettini will win it like 6-3, 6-4, but just because Daniel will fight so hard to hold serve, eventually at least one game is set. Berrettini will connect with the power, get the break, and then, like I said, on Berrettini's serve, he'll just um, on Berrettini's serve, what he's going to do is he'll be at least, even if he's not getting aces, he'll at least be able to get short balls, and then you just be able to go for it, and it'll be just a rally where the Daniel is just struggling to keep it all going. So that's basically how I see it. And like I said, he won't get a lot of service back. Others will be short balls, and then 50-50 rallies. He'll still be overpowering Daniel and taking his time back. And Daniel, will be, so he'll never really get any serve because he won't get enough back. A lot of them will be short balls. And the 50-50 rallies, he's got a low chance. But then on his serve, Berrettini, when he connects, he's going to break him. So it'll be constant pressure. So the Berrettini service games will be easy. On Daniel's service game will be fight, but there'll be one breaker set against him. So Berrettini takes it 6-3, 6-4. So we'll be left with a Djokovic Berrettini final, and we'll be left with a Nadal Tsitsipas final over in Barcelona. I think those were the two favourites of each tournament in the beginning, and that's what will be left. So if you want to see, if you don't like Djokovic, for example, maybe you think he could lose in the semi-final, but I think he'd have a better chance in the final. Berrettini's the only one that have a chance. If Berrettini serves and hammers the power and goes for the line, shorten the points, and just plays lights out tennis and overpowers Djokovic and never lets him in a rout. But that could be an interesting one. But I'll be back tomorrow to preview that, and then I'll be back hopefully to preview the Nadal Tsitsipas final over in Barcelona. So subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up. Have a great day or night, and be back here tomorrow for my preview of the final, both in Belgrade and Barcelona. And I'm really trying to get Roger for you for the interview too. But yeah, be back tomorrow for my final preview of Belgrade and Barcelona. So bye for now. Subscribe. Thanks. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, thumbs up, bell notification. Bye, guys.